CBS News Detroit special report.
Thank you for joining us for the CBS News Detroit special report. An overnight storm has left flooding across the metro area. I'm Terrence Friday. Thank you for being here. We have team coverage for you across the area with Jordan Burroughs at the airport where flooding now canceling several flights, and Ray Strickland is in Canton for additional flooding that we're going to be looking at. We're going to check in with them in just a few, but first we're going to send it over to next weather meteorologist Kylie Miller for a look at this changing forecast.
So those storms really packed a punch during the overnight period, picking up 1 to even 5 inches in some spots of rainfall in just a short amount of time, locally higher in some areas. We're still going to be under these flood warnings as we go through these next few hours, expiring at 3:45. This is for portions of Livingston, Oakland, Wayne, Washtenaw, and Monroe counties. And we also have a flood warning that's going to go until 8 p.m. tomorrow afternoon for Lower Rouge River in Dearborn. So now it is at 7.9 feet. It is going to be forecasting to crest just after midnight at 12.5 feet, where flood stage is at 11 feet. So all these rivers, creeks, and streams continue to rise and overflow their banks. So we're really going to keep a close eye again on the Lower Rouge River in Dearborn. So if you are in a surrounding area, you might want to pick up anything that you have in your basement. Right now, we're still monitoring a few scattered rain showers and storms passing through. Right now, St. Clair County, back from Port Huron into Marine City, Richmond, and even into Sandusky. For Sanilac County, having some rain showers, even hearing a few rumbles of thunder in the mix as well. So this is going to be the trend as we go through these next few hours. Scattered rain showers, we're going to be actually seeing a little bit of partial clearing this afternoon, but that's going to help destabilize the atmosphere before more rain and storms are going to be impacting us starting around dinner time across our northwestern zones. Then it's going to be trailing to the south and east, going through the 9, 10, 11 o'clock time frame. By about midnight, I think we are going to be drying out. But these areas that are dealing with all of this intense flooding have the potential for picking up more rainfall, especially as we go through the evening hours. Not to mention, any storms that flare up could go strong to severe. There's a slight risk in place for all of us here today across southeastern Michigan. That's a level 2 out of 5. All weather hazards are on the table for today. We're talking about more potential for flooding. We could see upwards of about 2 to 3 more inches from this next line that's going to be rolling through this evening. Spin up tornado, damaging wind gusts, not out of the question, and hailstones up to about 1 inch in diameter. That's about quarter size. And since it is going to be windy with this next line coming through, the ground is already saturated from all of the rain. It's not going to take much wind to knock down trees and power lines, and we already know that over 40,000 customers are without power because of the storms that went through earlier today. Now, heat advisories have been issued for Macomb, Oakland, Livingston, Wayne, Washtenaw, Monroe, and Lenawee counties. These will expire at 8 p.m. So if you don't have power, let's say, and you need air conditioning, because this is how it's going to feel as you step out the door, like we're in the 90s, if not triple digits. There are cooling centers that are open. So your next 7-day outlook, again, after today, it's pretty much going to be smooth sailing in the lower 80s for tomorrow. Drier conditions, less humidity over the weekend with cooler temperatures too in the middle 70s, and we're going to hold on to the 70s into next week. Terrence?
All right, Kylie, thanks. And CBS News Detroit's Jordan Burroughs is live outside of the airport where there's been a lot of trouble today. Jordan, what are you seeing right now?
Yeah, Terrence, that trouble comes in the form of traffic caused by all the rain and wind earlier today. Let's start with this. There have been more than 100 cancellations and more than 150 delays here at Detroit Metro Airport. And that's at last check just about 5 minutes ago, and we know that could get worse today. Of course, this is a problem for Delta. It's one of their main hubs here. As you're taking a look at this traffic behind me, the Delta hub, obviously you can see that too in the back there. The McNamara terminal is closed, which is what houses all of the Delta terminals here at the airport. We reached out to Delta for a statement, which they sent to us in part says, we expect further cancellations and delays as the morning continues. We know this is an inconvenience to our customers, and we apologize for the disruption to their travel plans. Delta has more than 100 gates, and people driving by have had some choice words for the airline, but where we're at, we haven't really seen quite the flooding that's happened around Metro Detroit, but that big issue here being the traffic, just a huge backup right now. We also know airport officials say customers with flights operating out of McNamara Terminal are encouraged to contact their airline with any questions about their flight. And as you can see, I mean, there has been so much traffic back up here. This is the main road leading into the airport. Wind and a little bit of rain coming down right now. Even in front of me, there are so many cars just backed up from this traffic jam. If you are coming to the airport today, you need to give yourself, I mean, if not 4 to 5 hours to sit in this traffic. There have been cars that have taken at least 45 minutes to an hour just to get from in my sight line to behind me to this sign behind me. Give yourself a break if you're going to be here at the airport today. Live at Detroit Metro Wayne County Airport, Jordan Burroughs, CBS News, Detroit.
Yeah, traveling frustrating already enough as it is. I can't imagine that's making it any better. Thank you, Jordan. All right, we're going to head now to Ray Strickland, who is in Canton, where we're also seeing some issues as it relates to this heavy rain and flooding that we've been seeing today.
All right, guys, no, I have to tell you that this is not a creek or a river that you see behind me. This is actually a parking lot that has been overtaken by water here in Canton. Right now, I'm on Sheldon and Ford Road. I want to step out of the way just so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. This parking lot, which has a First Watch, an Ulta, and a Kohl's here in Canton, is essentially shut down. I mean, cars have been stranded here in the street that you see there. Next to the parking lot is Sheldon, where a number of other cars have also been left stranded. And also just on Ford Road, there's now a traffic backup. A portion of the road is closed, and there's a number of cars that is stranded there as well. This is a situation that seems to be ongoing for the past few hours, of course, because of that rain that happened overnight and into the morning. A number of inches was dumped on this area of Canton, and many people are trying to figure out how to navigate these floodwaters without getting stranded and without, of course, having to leave their cars. This is really a sight to see because people tell me, the people that I've spoken to, just nearby, people who have got out of their cars and taken photos, they say that this is something that they really never seen before. Like, it's something that they've seen on TV. So this is a crazy situation for them, and people, again, just trying to navigate this situation because many people's homes are also on a street that's been flooded. I'm looking just across from me. You can't see this, but there's a tow truck that's towing a car away right now on Ford and Sheldon. So this is a situation that I'm going to be out here for quite some time, trying to gather information, trying to get an idea of what's going on. But a lot of floodwaters has overtaken many areas here, of course, across Michigan, but specifically here in Canton. I'm going to try to stay on top of this as much as I can. But right now, I'm going to send it back to you guys at the desk.
All right, really unbelievable views there. Thank you, Ray. And those storms have knocked out power to people in the area as well. DTE is reporting 54,000 customers are without power at last check. According to their outage map, a majority of those in the western side of the metro area are experiencing these issues. DTE is warning people to stay away from downed power lines and avoid standing water either inside or outside. They expect 85% of people to have their lost power overnight and also by the end of the day today. And of course, that is something that we will continue to watch for you here on CBS News Detroit. Let's check back in with ex-weather meteorologist Kylie Miller for a final look at your traffic.
Yeah, so for the next drive, if you ever encounter an area road that is submerged by water, like where Ray was at, turn around, don't drown, find a different way to get to your destination. Unfortunately, we are seeing multiple scenes like that across the Metro Detroit region. So in Wayne County, starting off on I-275 southbound between I-94 and Eureka Road, there's stopped traffic that is backed up to E-Course Road. So if you're trying to get to the airport, like Jordan Burroughs mentioned, you are going to have to give yourself multiple hours to get there. Also, the off-ramp is closed in Romulus on I-94 westbound at I-275. That is exit 194. And we also have a flooding situation in Wayne County, I-275 northbound between I-94 and E-Course Road. Again, that is stopped back to Eureka Road. So again, that is going to be a main stretch that a lot of folks take for lunchtime here coming up. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. And there's another area that's closed in Ypsilanti due to flooding. That is Rawsonville Road, northbound and southbound between Grove Street and West Huron River. That is reported by police. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Turn around. don't drown. So like I mentioned, we already received multiple inches of rainfall. It doesn't take a lot of wind to knock down a tree limb, a power line, anything like that. In Monroe County, 2 areas in specific having roadways that are blocked due to fallen trees. That is Telegraph Road, that's US 24 southbound between Stein Road and Wood Road. And the secondary one, again, the fallen tree is in the road, so you cannot get around it. That is Telegraph Road, northbound and southbound between East Erie Road, as well as M151, which is Lakeside Road. So again, avoid these areas if you can. Today might be a good day just to stay inside. And if you ever have an area road that is covered with water, again, make sure to find a different way to get to your destination. Terrence?
Very important to keep in mind. Kylie, thanks. Also something to remember, Michigan State Police are offering a hand for people who have ignored the turnaround, don't drown advice. In a tweet, the Detroit office says if you have to leave your car on the highway because of the flooding, you can call either the Metro North or Metro South office and they'll give you some assistance. The number for Metro North is 248-584-5740. The number for Metro South is 734-287-5000. Again, we thank you for joining us for the CBS News special report. You can always find the latest news, sports, and weather on CBSDetroit.com, streaming live on the Pluto TV app and the CBS News app as well.